1140 The Fan.
Talkin Money!
And we're back. It's Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell.
Right. How you doing? I got my smoker's voice today, and I don't smoke. How much for the little girl? We had
we get a wiener.
Oh, Colin Grail. I did not say thank you to Colin for hosting last week. So I appreciate him jumping in and doing that. He said he texted me on the 44114 text line and said that was the same quiz question they had last week. So, if you were listening, we did get a winner.
That assumes all the people who listened last week are back.
Right. So Ryan got the answer right, and Ryan was on our text line. The answer was Kim Schmitz is also known as Kim.com. His company, Mega Upload Limited. They had a big article on this guy. I mean, he was, he's not one of the most attractive gentlemen in the world, and I'm not either. So, but he was living way over his head with the beautiful women and beautiful cars and beautiful houses, and so he's going to be doing probably a little bit of time for stealing that which is not his, allegedly. So we got that right, and we'll get something out to Ryan real quick. Well, the text line is blowing up today, so everybody wants to text, not talk. That's fine with me. 441140 if you want to text me. 3391140 if you want to talk to me. Or you can just give me the finger if you don't want me to listen at all. Hey, Jeff, will HARP have different lending standards than a regular refinance? Absolutely. That is the advantage of HARP. I did spend about an hour on a conference call this week regarding HARP, and some of it is still a little bit of speculation, and some of it is starting to leak out what they're redoing. And really, what we're waiting for is for Fannie Mae to reprogram their software. I mean, it's nothing more than that, so that we can upload the Nick Perjanic file into it, and it will re-underwrite it under the new rules rather than the old rules. And some of the changes will be there will not be any loan to value requirement at all, or combined loan to value. That's one of the things that we're waiting for, is this appraisal waiver, so that your loan to value is not a function. It doesn't mean maybe your house will have an appraisal, but the value will not be a significant issue.
Hey, Jeff, let the listeners know, is there any concern for individuals that have tried to refinance in the past that may not have been approved, that now may get approved, or what's different today than in the past for somebody trying to refinance?
Yeah, so if you were successful in refinancing from 2009 till now, you've already used your HARP waiver. You probably didn't know it, but your house probably didn't have 20% equity in it, and they just didn't make a big deal out of it. And so they used your HARP program already. So the first wave of HARP was for people that were like at 100% and less, right? Now we're looking for those that are like 100% and over to unlimited. So if you tried to refinance in the past and they said, no, we can't do it, some of these rules are going to change. One of the other things they're talking about doing is possibly going to a no-income verification type of a refinance, which sounds like we're going back to where we did before. But remember, it's way different now. You already have the house, and Fannie Mae is already on the hook for your loan, right? So FHA does this already. FHA has a streamlined refinance. Well, all we do is verify that you're current on your mortgage. That's it. We don't verify your income again. And the thought being is that if I own your loan and I can make things cheaper for you so you don't default on the loan, why wouldn't I do that? Do I want to re-verify your income again? So let's say you don't qualify again. What am I going to do? Call your loan due? No. So one of the things they're talking about doing is going to this no-income verification process, and that is where many of you probably got caught up. You might have been okay with a loan to value. You might have been close, but maybe your income was down a little bit, because a lot of people's incomes are down a little bit. I'm not writing a new book here, right? So if that changes, then that will help pick up a lot more people. Now, you do have to be current on the mortgage for the last 12 months. And here's where I want to catch a lot of you, a little bit of advice. Let's say you're not current right now, okay? The HARP program is going to extend through 2013. Okay, that's more than 12 months from now. So if you're not current right now, and you decide you want to stay in the house or you have to stay in that house, start getting current right now. Because 12 months from now, you could still be in the HARP program. It'll still be here. So, it's not whether, it's kind of like some people said, well, I'm screwed. I'm already late. It's too late. Well, then get current. And in 12 months now. Let's talk about it.
Right. Hey, Jeff, one of the other questions, too, is can I do this loan with a second if I have a second? Even though the loan will only look at the first, can I do it if I have a second?
Yes, you can do it if you have a second. You cannot roll the second into it. And here's the catch, and this is the most frustrating part of it all. The seconds are a time killer, and they're very frustrating because the second has to agree. It's called subordination. The second must agree to stay in second position, right? And what's funny is that people that just the general public think the second, like the note on top of it says, this is a second. A second only means that it recorded second in line, right? So if I pay off your first, the second becomes the first. So we have to get them to sign a form saying we're going to push you back in a subordinate second position. Now, those seconds are looking around going, why do we want to do this? So you better have a compelling reason for why you're doing it. Obviously, we're not letting you pull any more cash out, but so you can show them, okay, look I'm going from 28 years left of my loan to 15. I'm going from $1,200 a month to $1,000. But they're also probably not going to let you put them in a worse position. So if you owe $158,000 today, they're not going to let your new loan amount be $165. Okay, I lumped a bunch of fees and things in there. If you owe $158 today, you're probably going to have to owe $158 when you're done, which means you may have to come up with a few bucks out of pocket to pay the loan. Does that make sense?
Sure. And one of the things that we had talked about earlier, too, was there are a lot of people with home equity lines of credit out there on their seconds. And those seconds are out there right now. It could be as low as 2.5% to 5% because we're at the bottom in regard to those, what they're tied to, the margins and the indexes. So that's the other wave. That's the other wave of those individuals that bought houses in 2008, 2007, put a second on there that's on a HELOC. Right now, you're kind of enjoying that low interest rate, but that there is going to come a point that those interest rates are going to go up. It's something to start considering. And one thing, too, if you do have a home equity line of credit second, take a look, talk to your lender, find out if there is the option of rolling that over to a fixed rate loan. For example, I have a home equity line right now. I'm only paying 2.5% on it, interest only. Right now, I have the first 5 years, I can actually go back, take that balance, convert it to a fixed rate loan. The current rate they're offering is 4.3%.
Wow.
And because it's a 20-year home equity line of credit, if I do that in the first 5 years of my loan before July, well, for me, it's actually August. If I make that decision before August, they will allow me to roll that balance into a 15-year fixed rate loan at 4.3%. If I wait after that one day after that fifth year, and I want to roll it over, I now get a 3.8% rate, but it's a 10-year loan. Even though I have 15 years or just about 15 years left on the loan, my note allows me to roll it over, but now I'm going to have to take that balance and pay it off over 10 years.
Yeah, so it jumps up the payment pretty good.
Right. So take a look at your second. If it is a home equity line of credit, find out if there is the option of locking it into into a fixed rate, because that may pay a little more in interest, but now you're forced to pay down the principal. Something to consider.
Okay.
All right.
And we got all kinds of text lining up here, too, at 441140. You got, okay, before we take a break, let's get Jim in there real quick. Hey, Jim, welcome to Talkin Money. How you doing?
Good. How you doing today?
What's happening?
Good. Hey, I have a question. I sent in that text earlier about my home that I have a first and second that it's going to be difficult to pay soon. And the problem is that we refinanced a year ago.
Okay.
To try to help out our loan. So we don't qualify for the HEART program. So if we're going to start looking into a short sale, who do you recommend that we talk to?
Well, and that's a good question, Jim. And I'm going to put you back on hold. We'll send Jim out a T-shirt, too. I always would start with a realtor. And not all realtors are created equal, as everything. Some are very, very good at short sales, and some couldn't spell short sale. So I would ask around, and Jim, certainly if you want to email me later, I can give you some names in the area you're looking for. But a realtor in your area who specializes in short sales will actually do virtually all the work for you. They'll contact your lender or lenders. They'll put together, they know exactly what the lender is looking for in terms of what kind of a package is put together. They can kind of pre-qualify you whether they think you are a good candidate or not. If you're making a boatload of money and you've got good money in the bank, the short sale lender may say, hey, buddy, too bad, we're not taking a short sale. And then they might have to foreclose on you if you quit paying. But they'll be a good counsel for you on what the process will be. But I applaud you for at least having the discussion in January and not in October. Because if they tell you it isn't going to happen for you, then you need to come up with a plan B or some other plan of attack. So Good question, Jim. And I got more texts just blowing in here, so I'll read those during the break and get back to you. We did pick up a new sponsor this week, and I'm real excited about these guys. This is the Hellwig Winery, Helwig. Hellwig Winery is up in Plymouth, in the Shenandoah Valley up there. I've been up there a number of times, just out riding on my motorcycle, pulled in, and just saw this place sitting on the hill. I'm like, this is one of the most incredible buildings and facilities I've ever seen. It kind of sits up there, overlooks the valley, overlooks this big pond. They've got a big amphitheater out there. They have bands playing in the summer. They'll take you on a wine cave tour. And I'm not a wine drinker. I mean, I drink some very good wines a little bit, but just as a place to hang out, I just thought it was a beautiful spot, and their wines are phenomenal, according to my wife. So the Hellwig Winery is coming up. They have some big events. They have Friday night concert series. They're having a big bridal fair coming up. So we'll hear more from Hellwig as the summer goes on, and this summer we're going to be giving away some tours and some things as well.
Nice.
So the Hellwig Winery, it's Helwig. They're up in Plymouth.
They have a website there?
And I don't know if I have it there with me or not. Hellwigwinery.com.
Nice.
That should be fairly easy to remember. So check them out. You'll hear some of their ads as well. We got to take another quick break. I got a quiz question for you, though. 339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. Or you can text me at 441140 if you want. We do this every Super Bowl season. So this year, who does the stock market want to see win the Super Bowl? Remember, it goes back to the original NFL teams. One of them was good, one of them wasn't. There's an 80% predictor rate that if the original NFL team wins the Super Bowl, the stock market will do very well that year. So who does the stock market want to see win the Super Bowl this year? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, or you can text me at 441140. My name is Jeff Tarbell. That's Nick Perjanik. This is Talkin Money. We'll be, We'll be right back.